On this episode, we explore the disappearance of a child on an ordinary day, leaving behind a trail that only deepens the mystery instead of resolving it. Answers promised, truth delayed, silence where clarity should be.
And then, a place known not for what it is, but for what people claim to see. A village steeped in legend, folklore, and long whispered stories passed down through generations, supported by details that make them disturbingly hard to dismiss. This is Killer Hangover Podcast. Hello, I'm Beth, the daughter, drawn to mysteries and the moments where things don't quite make sense.
And I'm Bettina, the mother, holding on to reason, even when these stories make it a little hard to do so.
And this is episode 12 of season 2.
Welcome. Our last episode for the season.
Yes, the last episode of the season.
Don't worry, we're coming back with season 3.
I told you guys last episode to make sure you subscribed, follow, so that you get all of our alerts and announcements. So wherever you watch us, YouTube, any kind of podcast.
Or listen to us, right?
Just make sure that you're following us so you get alerts. But our plan for season 3 is to come back October 5th. So you don't have to wait terribly long.
No.
We'll be back in for spooky season this year.
There you go. Oh, it'll be fun. And oh my gosh, we're starting to line up season 3.
She's very excited.
I am
She's,
so excited.
We just agreed on one that she's been wanting to do since we started the podcast. But I know you guys are gonna miss us. There's 3 months in between. So,
But there is something they could do if they miss us too much. It's called Patreon.
Yeah.
And we kind of call it After Hours.
Yeah. Find us on After Hours. There's going to be a link in the description of this episode, on our website. Email us if you're like, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. I have to know where I can see you. We've been having a lot of fun on After Hours, though. It's definitely not
It's not
scripted or
scripted.
anything it is very comfortable. We just throw some sweats on after we record. We get on the couch and we just dig in. I've dissected current cases. We've talked about things we've watched. A lot of it so far has just been bantering about the episodes that we've been recording, just more in-depth, crazy things. But
there's also some things I'd love to talk to you about,
oh, I forgot to mention this on the episode.
Exactly.
But it's very unfiltered, very us, and it's fun. I mean, we have fun with all of this, and we're so thankful for anybody who's donated or joined or
just listen to us every, other
just
week.
listened.
Yeah. I mean, it blows my mind that people actually listen
Yeah.
to us.
I know. Because when I edit things back, I'm just like, cringe, Beth. That wasn't funny. Or, oh. I just say it like that. Or can't you pronounce a frickin' word?
Why'd I talk to my mother that way?
Hey, I edit those parts out. Okay. We got a really good done with housekeeping stuff. Let's move into this episode.
Yes.
Mom has the true crime. I have the paranormal. I am so excited for my paranormal. I have the cocktail. Bing, bang, boom. Okay. Here's our pretty cocktail. You want to show them, Vera, what we are drinking?
Yes. I have a bullet glass, and this is the cocktail. A foamy white liquid. Thick liquid. Looks like whipping cream.
So it kind of does, but it's foaming at the top. And that is an option. You don't have to do the cream in it at all.
Okay.
I wanted to give it more of a misty ghost in it.
Got it.
Okay. You see how it's kind of separating? This is the
Well, I can
drink.
see on your drink better than mine. Okay.
Because you can put it in a martini glass. It is a martini.
Oh, okay.
So these were our options, and I didn't feel like washing my martini glass.
I rank really high in this family.
But you know what? Episode 1, we used these glasses.
And episode 12, we use the
Full
glasses.
circle.
Full circle. Yeah.
Full what, Mom?
Full circle.
Sure.
So what is this called?
The watercress wraith martini. What is wraith, you ask?
I do ask because I've never heard that word.
Well, I had to actually look it up just now.
Didn't you
before we
ask me
started
how to
recording.
say it too?
I did ask you. I thought you just said you didn't hear it. Liar. Okay.
I've never
Wraith.
until you asked me. Oh no, this is what she said. Mom, how do you spell WRAITH? Like WRAITH.
But how do you spell it? Wraith. Which means, you guys ready to learn something? You probably already know. Ghost or specter. Okay, the watercress ghost martini. So this is for 2. I'm going to give you the recipe for 2 cocktails. It's interesting. It is interesting. I had a little sippage because I had to, because I didn't want us drinking crap, but it's interesting.
Has never stopped us before.
Facts. Facts. Okay. 4 ounces of vodka.
Oh, another vodka drink. Okay.
1.5 ounces of elderflower. Does this sound even
Nice.
familiar? I know a lot of my drinks have recently been very similar. A lot of my drinks this season were melon liqueurs, elderflower liqueurs, or curacao. Like I really stuck to the basics. The killer hangover basics. You know what? We should make. Oh, we're not on after hours. Sorry. We should make a cocktail book though. That would be really fun. Okay. 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice. I squeezed a
And
real
actually,
lemon.
it is fresh lemon juice.
I squeezed a real lemon, not a fake one. 0.75 or 1 ounce of, okay, now this is where either a mint or a cucumber infused simple syrup.
Okay.
Okay. Or just a basic simple syrup is fine. So it calls for the mint or cucumber. I just did basic simple syrup. I was a little thrown off with the lemon and the elderflower and then with the cream that I knew was coming already. So I was like, I'm not going to add in mint into all of this. That's just I don't know. That's a lot of taste. That's a lot.
We
That's a
could have
lot
cut a
going in.
cucumber and put it in there.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I might.
Okay, and then 2 to 3 ounces of heavy cream. I only did 2.
Okay. Thank you.
And then you put all of that in a shaker. And I shook it dry. I didn't put ice in it. I shook it dry to really get the foam.
And she was shaking.
See how it's like whipped cream on the top now?
Well, they probably can't see, but yeah.
Well, a lot of people are mostly listening, so sorry. I'll take a picture. It is like whipped cream now on the top, but with real heavy cream. So I shook it all up dry. Then I added some ice cubes later and shook it up just to chill it a little bit before I poured it into our glasses. And then we topped it with tonic water. And that's it. It does say
Okay,
you can
I'm
garnish it with a lemon
really
twist. I
excited.
did not.
Cheers.
Oh, I was.
I'm really excited.
I could tell. Cheers. We're going to have whipped cream mustaches this whole episode. Got milk. We're not sponsored.
Well, that's good.
I don't know. I don't know. Do I believe
No,
you?
it is good.
Even the
This is really-
aftertaste is really good.
I'm just worried about my.
We're going to have mustaches. I'm just going to
gonna help-
admit the
I'm gonna-
whole time. I don't even care.
No, I'm not going to let you. I'll tell you if you tell me.
I'll tell you, fine. You don't need to waste your time telling me. I don't care. It's very good. So it's very creamy, but yet even the aftertaste is really good.
It's smooth.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? Do you remember back in the day they did those like strawberries and cream candies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of, this isn't strawberry, obviously, but this is still like fruity and cream mixed
It's very
cocktail.
creamy, that's for sure.
But then there's fruity because of the lemon and the elderflower.
Mm. I swear you mixed this up so much that you did whip it.
Whip it good.
You made the, you churned that.
She churned that cream into butter. Old whipped cream on the top of her wraith. And it has separated. So now all of the cream is on top as a whipped cream.
Yeah.
Like I did that intentionally.
No, you just, but it's really good.
I'm actually going to really enjoy this. And it's very dangerous that it's all alcohol and I'm going last. So I get to enjoy it and
Pretty
then.
much so.
Okay.
So we get to enjoy the after effects, is what you're
Enjoy the
saying.
afterbirth. Huh. Okay.
All
Let's
right, we
go.
did things a little different this round. Usually it's the true crime who kind of picks the location and then tells them, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and then the paranormal is like, "Okay, I'm going to link it this
Somehow.
way."
Yeah.
We're
All
not
parts
we're
of the
not
tree
doing
been
yeah,
linked.
we're not doing like states anymore or anything like that, but we try to link them as well as we can.
I think we did a decent job.
So, Beth was the one who actually picked. She really wanted to cover this
Oh,
paranormal. So I'm like, okay. So hers takes place in England. And I said, oh, there's some good crimes in England.
good crimes. What an oxymoron. Isn't that what oxymoron is?
It's, yeah, I'm sorry. A true crime. No, 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 they're not good. But
Mm-mm.
some of them, I'm sorry to be blasé about this, but it's just like,
You just
okay,
find one that you wanted to tell.
this guy kills, and blah, blah, blah. And it just didn't intrigue me. And then the other ones were so horrific that I didn't want anything to do with them. And the other ones were children, killing children, and Beth wanted nothing to do with that.
I told her nope.
So I moved to Ireland.
Well, I mean, those stories though, they are worth us sharing. I mean,
No, they are, but you can do
it's
it.
so hard.
I'm not going to cover the one I'm was going to cover. I mean, I really did some research into it, and I'm like, no, can't do it. My stomach's starting to turn.
Not interesting though. There are just some topics we just can't. Okay.
All
Yes.
right. So I found this story, and it's not going to be super long because actually they're doing the inquest right now as we speak. Um, well, not when this comes out, but as we speak tonight, they're doing the inquest.
We are speaking though.
We are.
We're the ones speaking.
This caught my attention. It is really a very baffling case.
I don't know about it.
So,
You showed me a picture of the victim and I recognize the face. I've seen it going around, but I haven't looked into it. So
okay, this takes place in Belfast, Ireland. Um, it happened in 2020. So, what's 2020 known for?
good old COVID.
Yes, COVID lockdown. Because of delays, the inquest,
Doesn't that seem like it was just yesterday?
yes and no.
I just still can't believe we were all locked down.
I can't believe we all had to wear masks and get shots
And how scared
and
we were to even order groceries and
yeah,
like we didn't know how it was transferred and how scared we were.
yeah,
I
it
was
was.
pregnant and it was scary. Okay. Sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry. It's just baffled because that seems like just yesterday to me.
yes. So the inquest or trial into this case did not actually happen until January 19th, 2026. This happened in 2020.
Wow.
Excuse me, but because of COVID and then delays and you know pushing it off, it's been a while coming. I will follow the inquest, and hopefully, by the time this does come out, we can have we can add a little bit more
Well, yeah.
information.
I I think we should.
Um, all right. This is involving 14-year-old Noah Donohoe. There are so many weird things that happened on the day of his disappearance, which leaves one with so many questions, and you're going to still have questions. Noah was born on November 25th, 2005, in Strabane, Northern Ireland. Sorry if I totally slaughtered that. Fiona, his mother, had lived in Boston when she met his father, Emmanuel Dgakpa.
How do you spell?
Sorry, I'm not even going to venture that. Um, a Senegalese born U.S. man. Fiona left the U.S. before Noah was born and later settled in South Belfast. According to all accounts, mother and son had an exceptional relationship. They were so close. They trusted each other. They always spoke to each other. Um, Noah never met his father.
Okay.
So I don't know whether they spoke on the phone. I don't know, but like the father is never really
They're
involved.
just living their own
The father,
life
yes.
and
And they were so close.
they're in
And
Ireland now.
yeah, they're
Is
in
that
Belfast.
is that where she's from? Or
She's,
how did they end up
yeah,
there?
she's
Okay.
not from Belfast, but that's where they
Area.
moved to.
Okay.
Okay. Noah attended St. Malachi's College, and this is a selective secondary school.
Okay.
So he was raised Catholic, and he's going to a Catholic school.
Okay.
He was described by his mother, his friends, and the school staff as very intelligent, inquisitive, eager to explore new topics, especially in philosophy, music, and language. So if you could tie this child into one ball, you're describing him as loving, intelligent, an athlete, by the way. He was very good in athletics, played basketball and soccer, and yeah, a musician. He liked playing the cello, an avid learner, and if his pictures are any indication, loving life. I don't know if there's any picture of him not smiling. This huge smile. So he looks just so happy. And with his mother, you could tell that they were close.
Yeah.
He didn't mind taking close pictures with her, even as a teen. So, yeah. Most of this case has been put together by CCTV. Thank goodness for that.
Mm.
And witnesses along the route he took that day. But how would they even know to ask the witnesses if they didn't,
See them.
yeah, see the footage?
That's amazing.
So the day was June 21st, 2020. The first footage is extremely strange and has been newly released. So the family did not even know about this until 2 years after his disappearance.
Well, we've talked about it so many times before. Police keep some things to
This shouldn't have
themselves.
been kept from them.
And that was what I was about to say. It's so frustrating sometimes that the things that finally come out and
I don't I don't believe this should have
I wish
been.
they would tell the family at least. Like maybe not the public, but it at least tell the family. I don't know what this showed, but
So the footage shows Noah leaving his apartment building at around 3:34 a.m. His mother didn't even know that he had left the apartment.
okay.
He's wearing
Well, how old is he?
He's 14. He's wearing flip-flops, a t-shirt, shorts, and carrying headphones.
At 3 in the morning?
3:30. He is then seen entering the building at 4:08 a.m. without his headphones and barefoot.
What?
Yeah. So you can see him like going out and slowly closing the door so that it doesn't make a sound of the apartment building, and then slowly opening it and kind of creeping into the apartment. But he does not have his headphones or his shoes on.
Is there any, has he ever done that before? Like, is
We
there,
don't know. There is absolutely no rhyme or reason to this trip out of the building. Where did he go? What did he do? What happened to his shoes and headphones? Has he done this before? Personally, I think this footage is of vital importance, but there are no answers. And like I said, the family didn't even know about it until 2 years after
Oh,
his
poor
disappearance. And
mother.
I just don't know why they didn't share this. Because she could have filled, maybe she could have filled them in.
Maybe she did like what if
So
she would have known about that? Obviously she didn't, but what if she would have? I mean like, oh, this is what he did.
I know.
She could have helped or given some answer
To me, this was like, and I can understand police not sharing everything with the family. I totally,
I
understand
know.
that.
I understand
But
it, but
this, I don't know.
that's odd.
That evening, so the same day of this weird disappearance for what, 20, 25 minutes, Noah was to meet up with his friends, Jay Turney and Charlie Rocks. Their plan was to meet at Cave Hill and hang out, maybe do some hiking. Cave Hill is a tall, rocky hill that overlooks Belfast, on top of which is ruins of a fort. A great place for kids to
That's pretty cool.
explore.
Yeah.
Noah texted his friend Jay asking if their trip was still on. Jay's response was no because of the weather coming in and it was going to be a pretty big storm. But he didn't reply right away.
Uh-oh.
So Noah left and he never got the text.
Did he not have his phone with him?
He did, but he was riding his bike
Oh.
and so he just never checked. I don't know. It's thought that Noah never read it. Leaving the apartment at 5:40 p.m., he told his mother that he was meeting his two friends at Cave Hill, and off he rode on his bicycle. He was wearing a jacket, a hoodie, shorts, tennis shoes, and a helmet. He had a backpack strapped onto his back, which contained his laptop and the book, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, which his mother claimed he always carried with him. So I asked you before, have you heard of this author? And you said you'd heard of him, but you didn't quite.
The name, yeah.
So the 12 Rules for Life, just to share with you what it is, because I didn't know what it was. An Antidote to Chaos is a 2018 self-help book by the Canadian clinician and psychologist Jordan Peterson. It provides life advice through essays and abstract and ethical principles, psychology, mythology, blah, 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 blah. Can you believe a 14-year-old is looking into this?
Oh, that's
Just
wonderful though.
crazy. So the book is divided into chapters, with each title representing one of the following 12 specific rules to follow. Okay?
Okay.
Number 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back
Yep, I'm failing.
or sit.
Weren't we just talking about
Yes.
this on an after hours about our posture? Oh, wow, that's weird.
Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. In other words, respect yourself.
Love that. Okay.
Make friends with people who want the best for you.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
1000%.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who somebody else. No, not to who someone else is today.
Okay. Here you go.
Okay. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
I love that.
Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I totally, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them.
It's kind of out of your control, but my kids ask me who my favorite is. They think that's such a funny, like, who's your favorite? And I go, it changes daily. It changes hourly. Let's be real.
Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world.
I mean, when you're pointing at somebody, 3 fingers are pointing back.
Yep. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient.
Okay.
Tell the truth, or at least don't lie.
Hey, okay.
I mean, all
I
these
can
make
see that.
perfect sense. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't.
I this day and age, I love that.
Be precise in your speech. Yes. Stop the little words. Just
Just say
say
it.
it. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding.
Okay, you lost me. Is there a meaning behind that, or is that literally a rule?
That's a rule. They'll fall.
True.
Last,
Facts.
the last rule, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street.
Ew.
I,
I'm
d-
feeling it life, man. I'm
I
not
do
doing
that.
that.
I do that.
I
I
pet a
know.
dog when I was on the beach in Aruba, but
I usually pet.
a cat is
I
different.
usually pet. If they come up to me, I'll pet them. Definitely pet them. So these are the 12 rules. And you know what? Dang it, they make sense. But it's the 14-year-old looking at these rules, really doing an introspection. I mean, it's just like
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know much about this philosopher or anything like that, but just those rules in general, what a great thing a teenager should. You know how they tell you to like wake up and tell your like look in the mirror and be like, I am awesome, I am smart, I am courageous, like love yourself kind of. But that's kind of what this is. And at such an age that they need that
they do need that.
reinforcement to love themselves, to respect
Hmm.
themselves. Uh, Gosh, we all need that, no, regardless of the age. But that's at the age where you really start to.
And I think along with this book and also searching for answers at 14,
Hmm.
he told his friends, especially, he goes, I want to start changing. I want to just say the truth. I want to say what's inside of me and tell people the truth. And I don't want to hide, I want to be me, basically. And I love that rule about compare yourself to the person you were yesterday, not somebody else today.
Oh, I love that.
It's just so, it's something all of us.
Better yourself, and yeah, that.
What did I do yesterday that I could have done better? I'll do
Mm-hmm.
that better today.
Mm-hmm.
And congratulations to myself for doing that one, two, three, whatever things that I did really well yesterday. I
Yeah.
don't know. It kind of makes sense to me, definitely.
Mm.
Okay, so that's what the book he carried with him all the time. CCTV footage shows him going through Belfast city center, but as the footage progressed, or as he progressed, footage showed him lightening his load. At one point, he no longer had his backpack.
Mm.
He had also gotten rid of his phone somewhere. So
Because CCTV only can pick up like certain
certain,
angles on the
certain, and
street.
certain places, it doesn't have one continuous.
So do police know where it ended up and
He
they just
think
haven't shared that?
he thinks it
Or
was someplace they think is someplace by the university or college that's there. He dropped this backpack off. They did have a suspect at one time. It was a homeless man who had found the backpack. Inside the backpack was his laptop and the book. And then this homeless man had, of course, the laptop, and the police suspected him.
he
Um,
didn't want the book?
but I don't know what happened to the book. But
Shoot.
then they saw the footage and saw that he had cast those off somewhere. And so then the homeless man was no longer a suspect.
And isn't that interesting that it's where the cameras aren't?
Yeah. Yeah. So he does not have his backpack or his phone at this point. At around 5:59, so he left the house. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back at 5:40. Okay, he left the house at 5:40.
Okay.
At 5:59, so 19 minutes later, the footage shows him falling off his bike. A witness also saw this happening, but said he fell to the side, got up, rubbed his leg, hopped right back on the bike, and continued on his way.
But he fell off his bike. Why?
So the witness that saw this happening said she was convinced he was not hurt because he just got back on and just started riding his bike again.
He rubbed his leg.
Mm. He
And
rubbed
he
his
had a
leg.
helmet.
He had a helmet.
Okay.
Another witness said that as he was driving, he saw this kid on a bike in front of him, but he wasn't riding his bike very steadily. He kept on his bike. He didn't fall, but his
Was
bike
wobbling
were
around a
kind
little bit.
of swerving a little bit.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I lost my place because I went off script.
Can't do that. Was this your first podcast?
I know, seriously. Oh, also, when he fell and rubbed his leg, he took his jacket off and he threw his jacket on the ground and rode off
Okay,
without his jacket.
that's just odd.
Oh no, it continues.
To just okay.
And she was going to get the jacket and hunt him down, and but then she thought, no, he literally took his jacket off and put it on
He
the
just
ground.
tossed it. Yeah.
Noah was not recorded riding through residential streets in Belfast, obviously. One of the last times he was seen was by a witness around 6:08 when he was seen riding his bike totally naked.
What?
In the very last footage of Noah was seen walking unclothed towards a stream that led to a culvert.
Oh. Oh.
At 9:44 p.m., Noah's mother called the police, reporting him missing. A search operation was soon organized involving emergency service and hundreds of volunteers. His discarded bike was found at the end of a driveway, and his clothes and helmet were found scattered, not by near to where his bike was, but not like next to his bike.
Okay.
And he had already discarded his jacket, so his hoodie was he had put it up on the wall, on this low wall.
Okay.
And then the other stuff was all on the ground, but it was scattered, kind of here and there. His shirt was placed neatly on a low wall with the other things on the ground. So I know you know what's coming, but get ready to get choked up. The search efforts to find Noah continued until June 27th, 6 days later, when his body was found in a storm drain. He had died of drowning. Okay, this is where it gets
In
kind
a
of.
storm drain?
Mhm.
Are those different there than they are here?
Yeah, it's a stream and there's it's bigger.
Okay.
And the stream kind of goes down into, well, it goes into a culvert, but it just
Aren't there like steps almost or no?
almost, and then there's a grate, a really big
Yes.
grate and a fence kind of thing. I know I'm using my hands a lot, but it's definitely
It's
nothing
larger
that
than
I've
like
seen.
towers
Yeah.
are that are
Oh,
just
yeah.
like little grates
Yeah.
everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. On July 1st, a funeral mass was held with only 10 people allowed to attend.
Why?
COVID.
Oh, gosh darn it.
After the funeral, a procession. Okay, this is why I might get kind of choked up here. After the funeral, a procession traveling to St. Malachi's College. Members of the rescue service team who had helped look for Noah lined the streets along the route of the procession. And at the school's gates stood students serving as honor guard. He was later cremated because, as his mother put it, he was always afraid of the dark.
Oh God.
Okay, stop. The inquest into Noah's death included preliminary hearings. It wasn't until one of the hearings in October 2025 that the coroner released the CCTV footage previously mentioned, showing Noah leaving the apartment at 3:34 a.m. on that fateful June day. Like I said, that footage had not been shared with the family until more than 2 years after his death. There are still no answers to this early morning event, even after the coroner's appeal for information. As I said, the inquest is going on right now. as I speak. The third week will begin tomorrow, February 2nd, 2026. In the last 2 weeks, several things were released, including Fiona's call to the police. In the call, Fiona stated with she started with, "My son is 14. He has not come home yet." She stated that she was worried because Noah had not been himself this past week. He'd been up and down. He had helped her with things around the house, more so than usual, and had, throughout the week, had given her lots and lots of hugs. She said she was concerned about his mental health. Quote, "My instinct is telling me it's not right. Something is wrong." Uh, End of quote. The call lasted 25 minutes. Fiona ended the call by stating that Noah had never given her any bother. Noah's two close friends, Jay and Charlie, who he was supposed to go to the hill with, also spoke at the inquest. They described Noah as eccentric, but in a good way. He was very inquisitive.
Clearly, with his book and everything.
Overall, Noah had a very positive outlook on life, they said. Charlie stated that lately Noah spoke a lot about wanting to change and be more open about his feelings. But both Jay and Charlie said that they were not concerned about Noah's mental health. Noah had never spoken to them about suicide, and when asked if talking about his feelings could maybe mean that he was coming out as gay,
Sure.
both men adamantly stated no, Noah was definitely straight.
Okay.
The principal and vice principal of Malachi, as well as Noah's teachers, were called in also to testify. The vice principal, Deirdre McKesker, stated that she returned a phone call from Fiona, who asked if someone from the school's pastoral team could call her back. So this is before his death. This was 5 days, actually, before he disappeared.
Okay.
In the call, Fiona expressed concern about Noah, saying that his mood had darkened and that he was not motivated in doing his schoolwork as he always had been. Then one of Noah's teachers admitted that Noah had missed a homework deadline, which was so unusual for him. In fact, he usually turned his work in early.
Okay.
As he said, he was usually bang on. He added that in the recorded homework sent in, so I guess they spoke and sent that in because of COVID, Noah did not seem as cheerful as he usually was. But before we jump to any conclusions, I need to add here, as Deirdre said, and other teachers also pointed out, this was the first part of COVID in home learning, no social activities. Life was very different than it had been. I mean, we were all affected by this.
Oh, yes.
Especially these poor kiddos who had to stay home and do all their schooling online. So, yeah, there was a lot of depression going on.
Oh, a ton. That, golly, to be a teenager in that would have, I mean, I know we complained, but to be a teenager,
I know. They didn't even have graduation. I mean, it's just, anyway, that's
No.
another topic. There have been questions about the police investigation into Noah's death, as well as the delays in releasing evidence. I have a question. Also, of course, why can't Noah's early morning whereabouts be traced? I mean,
maybe they have been.
I understand he died by drowning, but was there a tox test run? Was there a drug test run?
That was my first.
I don't know. Maybe this will come out in the inquest. Was a scan run on his head? Because the police said that when he fell, it caused a concussion or something, and that's why he went all crazy. But he had his helmet on.
And he left before he fell.
No, they're talking about that's why he discarded his clothes and wandered into the stream because he hit his head and he didn't know what he was.
3:30.
No. This has nothing to do with the 3:30. It was just some questions I had about the entire case. Yeah.
But does a concussion make you strip naked and get into it?
I don't know. I don't. It doesn't make sense. because the witness specifically said he fell on his leg. He didn't fall on his
And he
head.
had a helmet on.
The police came out and said this. Well, he hit his head. So that made him kind of loopy or whatever. And she was like really confused. They said a witness stated this. And she was really confused. And she found out she was the witness. And she goes, no, I never said that. I never said he hit his head.
I just said he fell.
Specifically, he hit his leg, got up, wiped his leg, threw his coat off, and ran and kept riding his bike. So that's kind of questionable right there. Were there any bruising on his body, like from an assault? He was of mixed race and Catholic in a Protestant part of Ireland, where there was terrible unrest in the past, as we know, between the Catholics and the Protestants. Not so much now, but I'm sure there's still pockets.
But that doesn't explain getting naked and losing items and going into a storm drain.
Of course, if this was a suicide, we may never know why, but I hope there are some answers for his mother's sake.
I'm sorry, if it were a suicide, with how close he was to his mother, he wouldn't have written her a letter, really.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the book that he's carrying around. He was becoming somebody. He was becoming somebody. Nobody is that philosophical and doesn't grow up to be.
I don't know. There are
He
just
would have written his mother something. If this were suicide, there would have been something to help her close book and
now I think she
accept it or what have you.
my sense is that initially she was like very leery of his mental health.
Well, my first thought was bipolar, manic, something along those lines. It's very Elisa Lamb to me,
I told you that this case is so
but it's very Elisa Lamb.
yes.
But he's 14. Isn't that really young? Isn't it like around 19, 21
Mm-hmm.
that symptoms of
18,
bipolar?
19, 20 is when those symptoms usually pop up.
Correct. I mean, I'm sure it's not unheard of that a 14-year-old starts to show symptoms. I
Yeah,
just feel
but
like that's so young.
with the lamb thing, you could tell it was like weird, kind of schizophrenic, kind of looking out the elevator and stuff.
Well, she
With
did have schizophrenia.
I know that, and it you could see it,
Yes.
but taking off your clothes is not a schizophrenic type of thing.
But she was having, she was seeing things that we can't, and because she took off her clothes and got it. No, she didn't take off her clothes. She was in there in her clothes, in the water tank. Okay. They see things we don't. So maybe he saw something. He was seeing things. Does schizophrenia come around a 14-year-old? I'm not a doctor. I'm sure
I don't
it's not
know.
unheard of that it shows up early in some people, but
He just doesn't show. I don't think it looks like schizophrenia. Was he taking drugs?
yeah, I mean it's either drugs or some kind of mental illness.
And he didn't seem to have a mental illness at all. I mean, the way he was so intelligent, always was on his homework, always did everything. It's like there were no signs of mental illness at all.
Mm.
So what happened to this child? Everybody noticed the week before he disappeared, everybody noticed that he had slightly changed.
Something happened.
Mm-hmm. Something happened the beginning of that week.
It just kills me.
He
was internalizing something. If it is,
and he was either too embarrassed to share whatever had happened,
he's processing it,
or it was a secret. He didn't want to share it. The thing is, he was so close to his mother. And I know at 14, kids start
secrets. Yeah.
kids start kind of separating themselves from their parents, and you don't know everything that's going on, but I don't know. It just seemed like a really
But okay, sure. But then his friends would know something.
yeah, his friends would
You know
know.
what I mean? Like, I told my friends everything at 14.
And
So if he were doing drugs, they would know.
Of course I didn't know Noah, but it seems to me like he was kind of, I don't want to say immature, but he wasn't one of these kids that looked at babes and and that kind of stuff. He just seemed like he's into sports, he's into schoolwork, he's into questions about life and, everything else. He just didn't seem like he seemed like such a good kid. What in the world? I don't know. Let me go on. The Noah Donohoe Foundation was set up in his memory by his mother, Fiona. And in September 2022, the bridge formerly named the Logan Gateway Bridge was renamed the Noah Donohoe Bridge, thanks to a public campaign. Fiona said that she and Noah often crossed the bridge on their walks together, so the renaming was beautiful and very fitting. I'll wait until the inquest is complete, and then I will definitely get back, hopefully with
We're
more
doing after hours for sure on this one, but
answers and questions, because right now there are so many questions in this. And did they not take this seriously? Did they? There were some, to just go out and say, "Oh, he hit his head and, probably fell into the stream and drowned." Is what they said. Okay, I will definitely be getting back to you. I just really question the bruising on his, were there bruises on his body? Was a talk screen done? I I, I want to know. So
I'm sorry, that's just so sad.
this is why
He was 14 and he's reading that book. Like he's trying to better himself and be somebody and being philosophical. And it just, he had a whole life in front of him.
Oh no, this breaks my heart. And that's why I wanted to do this. First of all, because there's so many questions. And also I think this story needs to be brought up. I didn't hear about it. I didn't I saw pictures of him, but I didn't know what it was about at all.
Oh, it just breaks my heart.
It does. This whole story just is horrible.
I mean, the suicide thing is not even a thing for me. He would have left something for his mother. Period. End of story. If they were as close as this is. Drugs is still a thing. I feel like maybe his mom wouldn't know, sure, because boys, whatever, children start to move on, not move on, but separate from their parents. Around this age, his friends would know though.
But what was he doing early in the morning?
That's why I really am going back to like something mental illness. Like,
And where are his headphones and his flip flops?
but I feel like that's a cycle. He's
He's discarding things.
discarding things.
He's discarding things.
So
Is he leaving them because he doesn't need them anymore?
right, is this maybe his new philosophy on life? To just like discard of unneeded things?
Including his clothes that he's wearing?
Exactly. And get into a storm drain that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-mm.
Unfortunately, I feel like this is a mental illness that's just struck. Like, you know what I mean? Like light switch. Oh, I don't like that one. I don't like that.
It just, your head's whirling, isn't it? There's just like here, 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 here. Was he going out that early morning to meet somebody? I don't know. But
they have his phone, right?
I will get back to you. I don't know whether they found his phone or not.
Huh. Because I would say if they're, I mean, teenager has everything in their phone.
I don't. Well, they could always,
And
if they have this
on their phone.
if they have his phone or not, they can always look at the text through the mother's.
Sure.
So
Unless it was on like a WhatsApp app or
That's
a
true.
special app that hides conversations.
I will get back to you because I will follow this case.
Okay. All right. Shall we lighten things up a bit?
Please.
Oh, that's going to just weigh on me. All of that's going to weigh on me. And I know it's not weighing on you guys anymore. You guys have somewhat more answers in the future. Future Beth, calm down, breathe. It's coming. As you edit this, you're going to put it all together nicely.
Go pet a cat.
Like, okay, my daughter loves cats, loves them. And she has my husband wrapped around her finger. I just see a cat in her future. And I have, uh, but as you said,
But she
if a,
likes dogs though too. She loves
you're
animals.
kidding me, she loves any animal. Absolutely.
So
I love you. And she's so sweet. She like gets down and she'll talk to Annie. And she's just like, hi, good morning, you Tay. And Annie's an older dog and she has some health issues. And she was shivering the other day. Evie's,
oh,
oh,
Annie, you're so cold.
so cold.
Mommy, she's so cold.
Oh my god, she's old, baby. Um, okay. No, but you said a cat, if a cat walked up to you, you would pet it. I mean, yes. If a cat walked up to me and did actually, talking about Annie, taking her to the vet, I took her to the vet and they have a cat that lives at the
Mhm.
vet clinic, is has one eye, and he's a big old cat. Like he's not fat big, but like a big cat. Like
Mhm.
he's the size of Annabelle, like tall and width, everything. And he just came right up to Annie
Oh,
and was rubbing on her face and rubbing on her. And Annie's looking at me like, oh my gosh,
it's a
there's
good
a
thing she
cat.
was sick.
Yeah, she's so sick too. She,
She usually chases my cat.
but she was just kind of like, okay, cool, like trying to step away from it a little bit. And it was just rubbing on her. And I think the cat sensed that she wasn't feeling good. But then it came up to me and it didn't rub on me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for not. But I was like, oh, you were really sweet. That was really sweet. Just rubbing on Annie.
They are sweet. I mean, I'm a dog person for sure, but my cat, oh my gosh, when
I
he
just feel
finally
like they know so
when he
much.
goes, it's gonna be hard. That cat's been with us for
Yuko has been with you for a very long
he's gonna be
time.
18 this summer, so
Okay, we need to stop. Stop with the emotional crap, Mom.
you started it.
All right, picture this. It's the early 20th century. You're in Kent, England, and there sits Pluckley, a sleepy little village.
Oh, it's a village, not a person. Okay.
And there's
I'm visioning
Let me
it.
finish my sentence.
I saw Pluckley sitting on a bench.
It's a village.
Okay.
Pluckley. If you picture a person named Pluckley, are you picturing a very round little man? Because I am.
No, tall, skinny, actually.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, please continue.
Oh, man. Okay, well, it's a village.
Okay.
So we're wrong no matter what. Rolling hills, quaint cottages, an ancient church, handful of pubs. It looks like a storybook village.
I can see it.
Frederick William Thomas Sanders is born there in 1908. His family has roots going back generations. As a boy, growing up between 1919 and 1926, he's roaming the woods, plays in the fields,
Mm.
listens to the old folks spin their yarns by the fire. He calls it his, quote, playground. And later he writes a memoir about it titled Pluckley Was My Pit.
Say that 3 times. Pluckley was my playground.
Pluckley was my playground. That's not a man. Which this is very long. I have a lot of notes. We're not getting very far. He states in 1955, he says that it's the quote, book of my heart, unquote, and it's full of his childhood adventures, countryside lore, and yes, those first whispers of ghosts that locals pass down like family heirlooms. But Frederick wasn't any kid soaking up stories. From a very young age, he styled himself a ghost hunter. He called himself
Mm.
that. Or, okay, I am going to mispronounce this. I know there's a special way to say this. I know there's a proper way to say this. cyclical researched. Cyc- Pause. I'm looking this up. I'm back. Cyclical researchist. Mom, stop laughing.
What does that mean?
What does cyclical mean? It's another term for psychic.
Just say psychic. Would have helped move things along so much better.
Especially on our podcast.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Imagine a teenage boy in rural Kent, notebook in hand, chasing shadows instead of playing ball. By 1939, he's out on actual ghost hunts across the county. In 1946, he self publishes a typewritten. I want a typewriter so bad.
I have one. Do you want it?
Yes.
Okay.
Like an old school, like,
Mm-hmm.
ding.
Well, it's not black. That's what you're looking
Okay, I'm
for.
not racist or anything here, Mom.
No,
I
it
don't
isn't
it could
like
be
the
purple.
black
What do you-
old
what-
old. You said old school. It's not
What
the
are you
black one.
talking about?
There's the black typewriters, and they have the keys and the ding. But this one does do ding. Stop it. I'm so bringing that dang typewriter. It will alleviate a lot of space.
Well, I mean, I just want one like
Ding! Have fun editing this. Okay.
he self-publishes a typewritten booklet called what was how did I pronounce that? Psychical research. Psychical research. Haunted Kent. Chronicling 14 investigations from 1939 to 1940. He's not making this up. He's documenting, interviewing, piecing together what people swear they've seen. Okay, so
For a year, he did this.
yes.
1939.
Okay, no, he wrote it. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Hold on. My next line is literally, so let me reiterate all of this. And I'm really happy. It says, make this clear how cool I think this is.
Okay.
Because I must have known we just didn't listen to anything I just said. Okay. How many ghost stories have you heard about your town, about somewhere you've been? Okay. I'm going to give Atchison as the example. How many times have you heard a ghost story in Atchison, Kansas? Like, you just knew that that house on 2nd Street was haunted. You heard the ghost stories time and time again. Heard all these haunted things. Oh, yeah, this girl died there. Or, oh, yeah, this and this happened there. Like, you hear these stories, right?
All the time.
You heard the alleged history of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Alleged.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that for a lot of listeners, I'm sure. Like, those are how all ghost stories are. Like, I'm sure in your town, there's that haunted house that everybody knows it's just haunted, and there's all this lore about why, and da 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 da. Okay, this is why this story, and this is why I was so excited to tell this story. This is why the story is so cool. This happened to Frederick, okay? Just like you and me. He's just like you and me. His whole village has many haunts and many stories of ghosts and spirits. And he's like, I want to find evidence of these hauntings, sure. But he wants to dig into the actual history of these places and the hauntings and find the facts. Okay, so for example, one of Pluckley's most horrifying tales is the watercress woman. So everybody's always talking about this. They call her the watercress woman, and this is this haunted tale that's been told in Pluckley for years and years and years and years. Frederick, our ghost hunting hero, dug up the real story behind her, and it's very tragic. So the rumor mill in Pluckley has long whispered about this particular stretch of road leading out of town. quiet, leafy, the kind of spot where you'd expect nothing more sinister than a deer crossing, which is pretty sinister. But locals swear that on certain nights, an old woman's spirit flickers into view right there. She's engulfed in flames,
Oh.
fire licking up around her, and she's screaming,
Oh, how
blood
horrible.
curdling screams, and they call her the watercress woman because supposedly they all, this is just what the story says, in life she sold bunches of the stuff, watercress, which I didn't know what that was, and I did look it up. It's a nutrient dense, semi aquatic leafy green in the mustard family, known for its peppery, pungent flavor and crisp texture, growing in cool running water and used in salads, soups, and sandwiches for centuries. Okay, so it's like lettuce. It's some kind of a green. But she sold this at the roadside to make some
Passerbyers.
to make some kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
Classic ghost origin. See what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like that's what this is. Basic ghost story. Now Frederick, being Frederick, the guy with the notebook and the endless curiosity, starts poking around in the 1950s. He's going to look all this stuff up. And he uncovers newspaper reports I'm reading the same sentence. And he recovers newspaper reports. August 19th, 1911, a woman named Sarah Sharp. She was elderly, poor, and she didn't live the didn't have a lot of breaks in her life. She had a really tough
Right.
life.
Okay.
To get by, she would forage wild watercress from the ditches and streams around Pluckley, bundle it up, and sell it on the roadside.
Hmm.
The same stretch where the ghost supposedly shows up. One fateful day, her charred body was found at the
Oh.
edge of that road,
Ugh.
completely burned. The police investigation was straightforward. She was a heavy pipe smoker, and an ember must have tumbled out and landed on her clothes, and she burnt to death.
Mm.
She burned to death right there on the spot that this ghost is seen.
Oh, how horrible.
So here's where it gets personal for Frank and a little eerie. Until he started digging through these old records, he'd never heard the name Sarah Sharp. Nobody really had. They just called her the watercress woman.
Right.
And yes, the facts were somewhat correct, but now this is actually, it's not
A
just
person.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's an actual person. It's an actual tragic event. And I just found that so fascinating. And he did this. There's so many haunts in Pluckley, and he dug into every single one of them.
Wow.
And I just found that so cool to like find out where these haunts, and it gave like almost more proof to them if you
Mm-hmm.
think about it.
No, yeah.
I just I just found it
This
so
is a
fascinating.
Midwestern thing. No, yeah.
No, yeah, you did it again. Gosh darn it. Frederick does not sensationalize it for shock value. He just lays it out in his articles in his memoir, like, "Hey, this happened. Look, it lines up perfectly." Da, 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 da. It it's this quiet detective work that makes his research really gripping. He's not inventing ghosts. He's giving names and dates to them. And I loved that. And in Sarah's case, he turns a generic burning old lady into an actual
Person.
human
Mm-hmm.
being.
With a name.
Yeah, a hard working woman who, yeah, had a tragic end. 1950, Frederick writes an article for the Kentish Express newspaper. In it, he boldly declares Pluckley the most haunted village in England. He lists 10 ghosts right there: the highwayman pinned to a tree at Fright Corner, the screaming man from the clay pit, the watercress woman burning alive, the red lady weeping in the churchyard, the white lady in the crypt, the lady of Rose Court poisoning herself at tea time, the hanging schoolmaster swinging from his rope, the colonel in armor, the miller's shadow, even the devil at the devil's bush. These aren't wild inventions. Many come straight from his grandparents, his school teacher, and other villagers who'd carried the tales orally for decades.
Oh, do they have a headless horseman too? Sounds like they should.
Frederick keeps going. He writes letters to the press, more articles, more ghost hunts. His 1955 memoir weaves the hauntings into his boyhood escapades. He's not fabricating, he's preserving. By late 1960s, books on British ghosts start featuring Pluckley. A local broadcaster named Desmond Carrington picks it up. Then in 1989, Guinness names it the most haunted.
Oh, it does get the name.
And I just found that Guinness World Records, are you kidding me? Named it the most haunted. We've covered the most haunted everything.
You see the eye roll.
They heard it. So let's walk through Pluckley again, but with Frederick as our guide. Let's chat some of Pluckley's history and haunts. Okay?
Okay.
She's
That's
nodding.
the watercress lady. That was interesting.
So again, I want you to picture Pluckley. Here we go again. Did you ever watch The Darling Buds of May or see pictures of that show?
Mm-mm.
It was a TV show in 1991, an adaptation of H.E. Bates' novella, starring a young Catherine Zeta-Jones as the oldest daughter of the Larkin family. It was filmed in Pluckley.
Okay.
I'm going to show you pictures of Pluckley so you can like envision this because it is.
That's how I pictured it.
Yeah.
Those little houses that I have that I collect.
Oh my God. I have in my notes, they remind me of your little house collection that you have.
Yeah.
That's so stupid that you just said that.
That's what I was picturing.
That's exactly what it looks like. The whole town. Pluckley is literally a storybook looking village. Fun fact, and what adds to the storybook look are the windows of all the old buildings. Wandering around Pluckley today, you'll spot them everywhere. On cottages, the pub, the old manor houses, even the village hall. These aren't your standard boring square rectangular windows. No. The tops are gracefully curved rounded arches, often outlined in crisp white brick or stone that pops against the red brick or the timber frame.
Oh. And all the windows in the town are like that?
So,
Huh.
the locals call them deering windows. Sometimes it's Deering. Sometimes they spell it incorrectly. In older tales, actually, they spell it Deering. Anyway, it's named after the powerful Deering family who basically ran the show there for centuries. The story goes back to the English Civil War in the 1640s. King Charles I versus Parliament's Roundheads. Total chaos. Sir Edward Deering, the first baronet, who was born in 1598, a royalist through and through. So he's with the king. Legend has it that one day the Roundheads stormed his manor, and they're in Pluckley.
Mm-hmm.
They captured Sir Edward, or they had him cornered, depending on your version of the tale, and he pulls off the ultimate escape. He squeezes and leaps through the narrow top of one of these curved arched window.
Yeah.
So dramatic. And he lives to fight another day. Okay. Fast forward to the Romantic Victorian era. A later Deering descendant, Sir Edward Colmley Deering, another Sir Edward, because they all are named the
Because
same,
why
I feel
not?
like. Here's this family folklore, and he decides it's too good not to immortalize. He decrees that every building on the Deering estate, which included a huge chunk of Pluckley, had to feature these same round topped windows as a lucky charm and a nod to the getaway. And boom, the village gets this huge signature look.
Lucky
Now.
Charm. That's our tie into Ireland.
Oh.
Oh.
That's what you've been searching for this whole time.
No, I'm really listening.
It said that he had them installed across the manor, cottages, hunting lodge, even the pub. Is this 100% historically fact? Can we Frederick this story? Well, historians note it's a popular myth that grew legs in the Victorian era. It is fact that all of these windows were put in. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it really does add this like Disney storybook
I can see
feel
that.
to all the buildings. You already have that cool feel to the old village. It's so old. And then you have these really cool whimsical
Round,
windows.
yeah.
I love that. So anyway, that has nothing to do with the haunts. I just thought that was really neat. Frederick Sanders, our ghost hunting local, would have walked past these windows every day growing up. In his memoir, Pluckley Was My Playground, I got it, he paints such vivid pictures of the village. Now let's chat some of these ghosts, shall we? We're going to start in the Screaming Woods. Deering Wood, actually, but they call it the Screaming Woods. Frederick heard the screams as a kid.
Oh,
This dense, shadowy forest just south of the village between Pluckley and Smarden is the kind of place that looks postcard perfect. I showed you. Just lush green canopy,
yeah.
twisting paths. I mean, perfect for a boy to go play in the woods. Okay. Come dusk or after dark.
Probably a little scary.
The nickname isn't for show. People have been reporting blood curdling screams echoing through the trees for decades.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. That
You
came
better
out
be
of,
sorry. You better be sorry for sneezing.
it came out of nowhere.
Bless you.
Thank you.
They've been hearing blood curdling screams for decades through the trees, the kind that make you freeze mid step and question every life choice that led you there alone. Why would you?
So it
There?
isn't like a hooting out, what do they call it?
Okay. The main ghost story, the one that really gives the woods their scream reputation, centers on what Frederick first documented back in the 1950s. It's the tale of the Screaming Man, or the man buried in the clay pit.
Ew.
In the 19th century, Pluckley had active brick and tile works with deep clay pits for digging the raw material. In January 1899, a worker named Richard Bridgeland met a horrific end. He was buried alive when the sides of his clay pit collapsed on him,
Oh,
trapped under tons of earth, suffocating slowly, screaming for help.
worst nightmare. Worst nightmare. Oh,
His cries were said to be so desperate and prolonged that they echoed across the fields, and apparently they're still echoing to this day. Like village elders told him this story. Like it's been passed on for so long.
sure.
Just that there's something haunting there. So, according to all the legends that are being passed down, there's no visible ghost seen, but just this
A sound.
raw human terror that just fills the woods. Frederick pinned this one early in his writings, tying it to the real tragedy of Richard Bridgeland, turning a verifiable industrial accident into one of Pluckley's cornerstone hauntings. So again, he has given a name to this spirit, a real name.
Could this not be a screech owl?
Yes, Mom, it could probably be a screech owl, but there are so many other tales.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They don't stop at one screamer in this woods. A suicidal army colonel from the 18th century who hanged himself from a tree branch. His armored or uniformed figure is supposedly still seen dangling, swaying gently even when there's no wind. Or he's seen walking the paths in full like
Armor?
gear. Yes, armored gear. Gear.
Gear. Gear.
If
It's
you're
a
making a
dog.
drink, be careful. It is very strong.
It's a dog. It's gear.
A highwayman who was captured by locals, dragged into the woods, pinned to a tree, and beheaded.
Pinned to a tree. Oh, with a spear or
His
something.
vengeful spirit still wanders, footsteps crunching leaves behind you, or the occasional shadowy figure glimpsed between the trunks of trees.
These are like horrible deaths.
On foggy days, whispers and disembodied voices join the mix, murmuring just out of earshot. That is what's scary to me. Is just hearing like conversations around you, but there's nobody there.
Don't you hear that though?
Yes,
I mean, I've heard that.
I have too. I know you have. You actually just went somewhere and told me about it. Mom, save it for after hours.
I don't
'Cause
remember where it
still have
was.
a lot. You
After
want to
this.
hike with Tom?
Oh, that's right.
Save it. But that is what scares me because it's like residual conversation going on around you.
And you can't understand a word they're
But it's
saying.
like,
But
they
you
see me.
but you know there's people talking.
Oh, I did that. Just is so scary to me.
It's interesting to me because I don't.
Some visitors swear the birds fall eerily silent. So they'll just be walking, and you have wildlife going on, and then everything's just quiet, as if the woods is just like holding its breath, like just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
is, ugh, that's so scary.
I've had that happen.
Modern accounts amp up the creep factor. People report cold spots that hit you like a slap, ghostly touches on the shoulder, black shadow figures darting between trees, ghost hunting. There's Ghost Hunters International has been, and Most Haunted has been.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of shows that have been. And
Our
I didn't
ghost
watch,
adventures.
no, but I didn't watch a single one of them. That might be something fun we can do, but I didn't watch a single one. There's enough on the internet without watching anything that
Mm-hmm.
filled up
Mm-hmm.
a whole episode. If I would have watched something, you guys would be here
We'll
all
be here.
week. There are Reddit threads where folks say, just when they describe the woods when they've been there, they feel watched. They're hearing screams that sound way too real to be foxes or owls. Like they say it is a, but at the same time, I've heard those screams before. I've heard an owl screech before.
Oh my gosh, it's
It's
horrendous.
terrifying.
It is terrifying,
And
and
it's very real.
it
It's very
sounds like a
real.
child or
Yes,
something
it does.
screaming.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
especially when you're talking about woods. Mm.
So Frederick Sanders, he grew up, he'd heard that plenty of times. Now, this is a story from Screaming Woods that Frederick did not document. It happened a little later, but I read it and it scared me, so I have to scare you.
Okay.
Story circulating in spooky podcast, online forums, and local lore.
Bring it on. Try your best.
1948, Pluckley locals, who, let's be real, I mean, they're already pretty ghost savvy at this point. It's pretty haunted. They're like, oh, there's that screaming again. Oh, do you see that burnt lady over there? Oh,
There's that guy in his armor clanking along the path.
oh, did you see the body hanging in the tree? Yeah, that's so bad. That's
That head rolling on the trail. Jeez.
so bad. Oh, there's more flickering lights out in the woods. Well, this night there was flickering lights in the woods, dancing through the trees like distant bonfires, and strange, unidentifiable sounds drifting on the wind. Moans, whispers, maybe even those signature screams the forest is famous for. No one rushes in to check them out, probably because they're so used to random things happening in the woods.
Yeah.
But I mean, if your village already boasts a dozen ghosts, you learn not to chase every little sound at this point.
They'd be exhausted at this time.
By morning, the lights have vanished. Obviously, it's morning, Beth. That doesn't make sense. The noises have died down, and the woods look deceptively peaceful again. Birds chirping, leaves rustling, all normal. There's a villager out for his morning walk, and he decides to,
Go through the woods.
with his dog. Yes. They step onto the path and immediately stumble across something horrific. Bodies.
Bodies.
20 of them, piled up in the leaves. Adults and children. 11 kids among them, stacked together in groups. No blood, no visible wounds, no signs of a fight. The dead are identified as coming from the nearby Maltman's Hill area. It's a small cluster of homes not far from Pluckley. 5 families.
What the heck?
Police swarm in, autopsies are done, and nothing conclusive turns up. No poison, no trauma, no obvious cause. The investigation wraps up suspiciously fast within weeks, and the official verdict? Carbon monoxide poisoning
In the woods?
in an open forest on a crisp November morning. Yeah.
And they happen
that
to
tracks.
all leave their village and walk over here to
Critics at the time and ever since called it a cop out. But seriously, how do you even get carbon monoxide buildup in the middle of the woods?
That's ridiculous.
No bonfires, no cars idling, there's no sealed spaces. The case closes anyway, leaving everyone whispering what really happened. Maybe it was a ritual gone wrong, a cult gathering, or something supernatural pulling people in. Others note a creepy echo exactly 50 years later in October of 1998. Oh, because that happened on Halloween. Did I not mention that?
No.
It happened on Halloween. In October of 1998, 4 college students vanished into the same woods after reports of weird spider web-like light figures in the sky. Their bodies were never found. The investigation dropped after a month in the same woods. Now, here's the kicker. The whole Deering Wood massacre, the tale pops up everywhere. I saw that story everywhere.
And we're talking about the
Atlas Obscura
five families now.
podcast, yes.
Okay.
Ghost hunting circles, Reddit. It was I just actually just last heard it on the So Supernatural episode. But dig into proper historical records, newspapers from 1948, or even Frederick Sanders' own meticulous collections. There's no facts. There's nothing printed about it anywhere. So I don't know. But it was a scary story and I saw it everywhere and I had to
That's
share
a really good story, Beth.
it. Okay, back to stories from Frederick. Real stories from Frederick.
Yeah, I like Frederick.
Fright,
Down to earth.
Fright, go down to earth. Fright Corner, the epicenter of Pluckley's nightmare fuel, an unassuming little road junction locals and ghost hunters have dubbed Fright Corner. It's basically the haunted trifecta. Just, okay, anyway. 3 ghosts, 1 creepy corner. So there's a crossroads of 3.
Okay.
Just hedges, a few trees, maybe a signpost. Like, it's very basic. By day, again, it's the kind of place you drive past, no thought. But at night, locals say the air gets thick, oppressive, like the whole spot is holding its breath. Frederick Sanders spotlighted this place early, again, in his 1950s writing. He listed the Highwayman right up there among the top 10 haunts, drawing from village elders, I can say it, and family tales. Again, recent researchers, Dr. Simon Morton, and I'll cover a little bit more on him a little bit, he also dug into this. But what is lurking at Fright Corner? There are 3 main apparitions. There's the Highwayman that I mentioned.
Okay.
And this one is, legend says that in the 18th century, a robber named Robert Dubois, he used this corner to ambush travelers. Here is where he'd ambush them. He'd hide in a hollow oak tree at the corner. And one night he gets cornered either by soldiers or rival criminals. I don't know exactly who cornered him. And they run through him with a sword or bayonet. They
Run him through.
They pin him to a tree.
Okay.
With the bayonet. Did I say that wrong?
You said you run. They run him. They run him.
They pin him to a tree. And he dies. Okay. Obviously, because now he's a ghost. And
that's not the one they decapitated, though. They're
no.
just pinning a lot of people to trees. Okay.
This is the man that's pinned to the tree.
Okay.
And his ghost is seen like slumped on the tree.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is just so far-fetched to me.
That's what people see as his ghost to the tree. Witnesses describe a chilling reenactment, the clash of steel, grunts, and silence. No blood on the ground, but it's just this like vibe.
Wait, you said reenactment. So they actually see him being pinned to the tree?
So they see this man just slumped and pinned to a tree. Okay. And they have this ominous feeling. Sanders documents this one from local memory, but there is no verified 1700s murder record that pops up in any archives about this. But the Highwayman is seen all the time, which makes you wonder, where the hell did this come from?
Wait, I thought he had a name and everything.
That's part of the folklore. Are you drunk, or is Beth just a really bad storyteller?
So
So this one, he couldn't find. Frederick
couldn't verify this one.
Exactly.
Okay.
But this leaves you to wonder why there are so many people that say that they see a man slumped, pinned to a tree by a sword.
They had a really good drink.
But there's like multiple people that tell the same story. I think it's such a we've like created it. It's almost like I don't know,
I hear
because we've created the story so much and it's told so much that
that
now
they
there
see
probably
it.
is a spirit that's there, but we've like manifested it.
Maybe, or maybe there isn't really a spirit there. One person says, "Oh, I saw this." Another person is like, "Oh, I'm going to follow that trend," and and goes and, "Oh yeah, I saw it too." And then all of a sudden, everybody is seeing it, but they're not. It's manifested in their own head. It's dark. It could be a reflection from something, and it's like, "Oh my gosh, I saw it too." Our minds are amazing things.
So I mentioned that this is Fright Corner.
Yes, there's
Okay.
two other spirits here.
Yes, there are three. There's
Hmm.
three. Okay. So the next one that's seen in the same area there at the corner there is the hanging. It's called the hanging schoolmaster.
Are they sharing corners? I mean, this guy's here, and then is the schoolmaster then someplace else?
Like in the net, like look to your right, and there's a man pinned to a tree. You look to your left, and there's somebody hanging in another tree. Yes, all in the same corner. Shouldn't
Please.
laugh about this one though.
Okay.
This story is
Israel.
has some fact to it. So kids supposedly found a body swinging there, a real body, not
Okay.
just a ghost
Okay.
body
Okay.
of a schoolmaster. This is the lore. This is what's told. All the old people sitting around, they're like, yeah, some school children. They speak in English accents. So yes, there was some
Don't. Just don't.
children found a school teacher, a local school teacher, because of some failed romance or money woes. I don't know.
Headless horse.
People today still report seeing the figure dangling, rope creaking, body swaying in a noose. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Frederick Sanders wrote this up, and that guy Morton that I just talked about, the other
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
doctor,
Yeah.
you look very confused. I've talked about many men. I'm sorry.
Was that the schoolmaster? No.
Was
No.
the
No. I
other
remember.
researcher,
Yeah.
and he like continued Frederick's work, and he clarified a lot of research
Okay. Good.
because you have to think there are some walls that Frederick is hitting back in the 50s when he's writing
Sure.
the
Sure.
60s and everything. So
He doesn't
he's
have a pooter to help him either. Right?
a computer. Yes. Um, so he's clarified. So Frederick Sanders actually named it as somebody else
Okay.
because there was, I'm going to try not to confuse you. There was somebody who died by hanging in the area.
Okay.
Okay. But then Morton actually narrowed it down to who it actually was. So the folklore seems to be based upon a man named Henry Edgar Martin, a paper maker, not a
Not a
schoolmaster,
schoolmaster.
but who did take his own life in August 1919. There. There was a local teacher, Harry Martin, last name, okay, who too took his own life in 1923, but not by hanging and nowhere near this corner in Pluckley.
Mm-hmm.
So nearby, but not there.
Funny how those things get.
But their last name was Martin. So in his
Mhm.
research,
Sure.
and he'd heard schoolmaster his whole life. So I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
he just tied that all together in
Sure.
that way because he's limited on his resources.
Yeah.
So, but tragic suicide that really did happen. And now, if you look to your left, still there to this day.
Okay. Who's the third one?
The Phantom Coach and Horses.
Oh, they don't have to share a corner. This is in the middle of the street. Okay, good.
It's auditory terror, kind of like this podcast.
You're telling me.
Oh my God. I had this written up and so excited to share. And there's alcohol now. I feel like I am jumping from side to side of this corner.
I hope y'all are drinking.
No visible apparition here most times, but the thunder of hooves, rattling wheels, and foaming horses. Foaming
Yeah,
horse.
foaming horses. If they're
You
running,
hear foaming horses?
true,
It's auditory.
true that.
No. Oh, those people's poor ears listening. That's horrible.
Who else are you gonna hear foam coming from horses? Okay.
Oh. Folks swear they hear this
Yeah.
barreling right past them at Fright Corner. So to your right, get is the man pinned to the tree.
Where
And
do
to
you
the left,
stand?
I
There's no place to go.
know. To the left, there's a man hanging in the tree, but get out of the middle of the road because the foaming horses are on their way.
You did say this town had several pubs, right?
What'd you say?
You said this town has several pubs.
A babysitter once reported seeing it fully lit, windows glowing, horses pulling, running. And yes,
A babysitter.
that's what my research called the person who witnessed
A
this.
baby.
A babysitter, because that gives her great, or him. It gives this person great. You gotta trust this person.
She doesn't have a name. She just
If this person is trusted to watch children, then you better trust the fact that this babysitter
my God.
saw this.
a babysitter saw it. Well, heavens, then I'll believe it.
I was expecting to read like that she pulled the child she was babysitting. Like there was
She didn't even have the baby
some-
with her. She was just a baby.
kind of tie into the fact that she pulled a child out, or she
Oh.
saved this child. No, her qualification to this haunting is that she was a babysitter.
That was her title. Babysitter.
The end. Drivers have heard it clip clop past their cars in the dead of night.
Wait, clip clop instead of shh with the foam. That's more a gallop. A clip clop is more.
Sorry, I used the wrong verbiage, mother.
Okay. Okay.
So the
Tearing through.
residual
Okay.
haunting. It's echoes of an old coach road.
Okay.
Okay. Stand at the corner after dark and the place feels wrong. You will always, so let's go back. To the right, you have the highwayman pinned to the tree. To the left, you have the paper man in the hanging. You have the clip clop of the foaming horses in the road. And you also run into ghost tours here constantly. They hit this corner hard.
Gosh, I so want to go to this corner. A drama teacher said,
A podcaster said,
said that they witnessed nothing.
TV crews have filmed here, the
Oh.
whole thing, the ghost tours. But even skeptics admit that the atmosphere is just off on that corner.
Wouldn't it be though?
Yeah, because we've put it there.
I mean, and you, even me as a skeptic, I go into places and I'm a little scared because it's just like, okay, am I really going to be proven wrong here? I mean, is it, is there something here? And I have felt things before. So it's like you put this stuff in your head. So yes, of course you're going to feel weird in this corner.
We can talk about it more on After Hours, but I know that there was, I'm going to find the actual article I read. There was like a test done that they brought these people into this old house and told them this story about how a man named Paul died here and haunts this house. And they came up with this whole grand scheme. And then so they told
And it
them
never
they were gonna
happened.
ghost hunt for
Yeah.
this. Well, the Ouija board moved and said Paul. Paul came over the EVP. Multiple things happened. So again, did we create that we think we heard Paul, or we did just by mind the Ouija board moved because people's minds were on it, like they moved to pee and then all of a sudden, or did they actually create this entity there? Because now they say that this place is really active with this spirit.
Oh
I
my
need to find this
gosh.
article and we'll talk about it on after hours because it was fascinating that it was just an idea, but now because it's so believed by so many, it's almost like it gave this idea an actual energy in this
Oh,
home.
oh, I've got an answer to that, but keep going.
Oh, okay. Rose Court, the lovely old house tucked away in the village. Classic Pluckley red brick, tall chimneys, a walled garden that
Windows?
probably looks magical. Yes. Yes, I hope it has windows.
No, I mean the
I,
wrong.
I know, I know, I know. Bad joke, bad joke. It is a walled garden that probably looks absolutely magical in summer, and it has roses climbing
Mm,
everywhere, hence the name Rose Court. The residence dates back at least to the 18th century, with parts possibly older.
wow.
Over the years, it's been a family home, occasionally changed hands, but always carried that air of quiet dignity. It's gorgeous. It's just precious. I fell in love. Nothing flashy, just the kind of place where you'd expect afternoon tea and a polite conversation. Until the stories start. The ghost is known as the Lady of Rose Court, sometimes just the Poisoned Lady or the lady who calls for her dogs.
Oh,
The apparition appears most often in the garden or near the house, always around the same time, between 4 and 5 p.m. Witnesses describe a woman in Victorian dress, long skirts. Some say she's in a shawl, and she glides through the
mm,
garden's paths. She doesn't scream or wail. Instead, she just softly calls out for her dogs.
oh,
Some say they hear her call, carrying in the breeze. Those that see her say she looks a bit distressed, like she's looking for something, like
yeah,
she's
her
looking for her
dogs.
dogs.
That's-
There are some people that report the smell of flowers lingering after the voice echoes away. But aren't you in a garden?
there are flowers there. Just saying.
It's called rose color. Anyway, this experience of the lady calling for her dogs has happened for over 150 years.
Oh,
The root is heartbreakingly real, and Frederick Sanders was the one to pin it down with names and dates. The story traces to July 1862. Mary Ann Bennett, a woman in her 40s, lived at Rose Court with her husband and family. Whatever troubles she faced, perhaps a broken heart, financial strain, or deeper despair, we don't have full details, but on that summer day, she took her own life by drinking poison.
oh dear.
They likely think it was arsenic.
Oh,
She was found in the house, and the inquisite they ruled it suicide while of unsound mind. Frederick noted how locals had passed down the tale orally for generations, the exact time of day, possibly when she took the poison, when or maybe when her body was discovered, and the calls for her dogs. They know that I guess she had a few of them, and she's very fond of her dogs. They were like her children, and the garden as the focus of her wandering. In his writings, he credits old villagers, like his own grandparents actually, who remembered the Bennett family and the shock of the suicide. He was careful not to embellish. He just connected the dots between the real
mm-hmm,
death
mm-hmm.
certificate, the location, and the persistent reports of a woman searching the garden at tea time. I know.
That's rather sad.
But isn't it sad? Like we laugh a lot about hauntings. Obviously, it's we. This is the part where we lighten things up.
I'm not laughing about this one.
But when you can actually put
Right.
facts into it, it is so sad.
Some distressed soul.
And she's reliving that distress. Obviously, I don't take away from this that it's every day at 4 and 5, or
No, no, no.
but that is so. Do ghosts get to choose how they live their ghosthood? Like that man that's pinned to a tree. That's his choice.
Okay. I do so want to do either an episode or an after hours on ghosts. I told you that. And I have discovered some very interesting things about ghosts. Like,
She knows, guys. She knows.
if I saw this lady, like, I would never see this lady, but if I saw this lady, I wouldn't be fearful, I don't think. I think I'd be sad.
Yeah, and I don't feel Like she
She's,
carries that fear energy though. And it's like it's reliving.
yeah,
Or was there just so much energy left in that last moment that it's not like this
it's just
reliving, it's a
residual.
residual. And that's what I'm thinking. There
I
was so
don't
much
know.
energy left when you take your own life. There's so much feeling and
I don't know.
desperation in that. No. Well, talking about praying, St. Nicholas Church. This one's good. Frederick Sanders was, I think, most fascinated with this location. He ghost hunted here time and time again, wanting so badly to witness the haunts that everybody talked about. St. Nicholas Church sits right in the center of the village, a beautiful medieval building with roots stretching back to before the 13th century.
Wow.
It has that classic English parish feel, flint and stone and sturdy tower. It looks like a little castle, stained glass that catches the light just right. But what really sets it apart is the Deering family legacy. The church is full of their marks, ornate brasses on the floor. They say it's some of the finest in Kent. Memorials in the Deering Chapel, and a family vault and crypt where generations were laid to rest. One famous feature is the lead coffins, okay?
Wow.
Sometimes said to include a triple or even multiple layered one for preserving a young wife's beauty. So they would like put her in a coffin, but then put that in a coffin, then put that in a coffin, then put that in a box, and then put that in a box, and just like leave it up to preserve her beauty even in death.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The churchyard is beautiful by day with these ancient old
Oh, I
gravestones. And
bet.
they keep it gorgeous. But at night, notice a theme here. It, honestly, it seems like you want to go visit during the day,
But at night,
but at night, go home and lock your
just
doors.
be in the hotel room, okay? Or go to the pub. But otherwise, just don't wander.
I really liked this theme when I wrote this up, I guess. um,
God, you can have so much fun editing this thing.
the two main haunts are the Red Lady and the White Lady. Often described as the church's signature duo.
Stand out in the courtyard. And harmonize. Start
We've been
singing.
here since the 13th century.
Ah!
Good Lord. The Red Lady, dressed in a flowing red gown. She she
How
glides.
can they tell it's red if it's nighttime?
She she glides through the. I gave my mom the not the finger, but like the finger. For those
That
listening.
finger.
I did not give my mother the finger. I would never do that. She glides through the churchyard. Most, even our boy Frederick, believe she is of the Deering family. So, Lady Deering, to be specific, based on his research, is who he thinks she is. And that's as specific as I got because I'm sure there's a lot of Lady Deerings in the Deering family.
But this
that was
lady
buried
always
there.
wore red.
Well, yes, apparently. I don't know. She glides through the churchyard at dusk, head bowed, hands clasped, weeping. The lore says she is searching for the unmarked grave of her stillborn child.
Oh.
No
Oh.
headstone meant she couldn't find peace in life, so now she wanders eternally amongst the tombstones, crying quietly. People report seeing her gliding between graves, the sound of sobs, and just an overwhelming sense of ultimate sorrow.
Sadness. Yeah.
A small white dog, sometimes a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, tying into other Pluckley tales. Now, I didn't cover all the ghosts because, girl, there are a lot of ghosts. But I thought the dog was really cool because I think that those are some of the cutest dogs
Well,
ever.
didn't we ever say? I mean, we said there's always cat ghosts, but
This
there's
is it.
hardly ever dog ghosts.
Well,
Now you found one.
We had a dog in Mary King's Cross. Mary King's. in Scotland.
Yeah,
He saw a ghost
that's
cat,
right.
a ghost dog, a ghost child, an old man, and arms. Don't forget that dog.
I remember that dog, but that was one of the first dogs, and now we have another one.
Yeah, we have a little Cavalier Spaniel, which I think
They're so cute. They are cute.
oh, they're so cute. This little dog has been seen trotting beside her, the lady in red, or appearing nearby in the yard, silent, just watching, and then will vanish. The atmosphere thickens, an overwhelming wave of grief hits people, and it just makes people feel really, really sad when they're there. Modern accounts include a Reddit photo from recent years where a misty red tinged figure appeared in the churchyard. Um, I looked at the picture, and it's like a graveyard and it's foggy, and you see a figure. The figure looks more white to me. There is a figure. I don't see much of a. Maybe I was looking at the wrong picture. I don't know. I have to. I don't know. I'll post it.
It is Reddit.
Inside the church, the White Lady takes over. She's often linked to a beautiful young Deering wife or bride buried in the family vault. Allegedly preserved in lead coffins, some resources said 7 nested coffins inside an oak sarcophagus
Good Lord.
to keep her looks intact forever. So, because of this, and all of his facts he got together, they assume that this is the young, beautiful Deering wife, a very young wife that passed, because soon after this woman died and was stored in all of her caskets, a transparent woman was seen walking the halls of the church, basically within days of this burial.
Mm-hmm.
And those people that reported the spirit sighting made reference to the woman, just gorgeous, just a beautiful woman. And it matched the woman who was just buried. So, yeah. But she's listed as a young, beautiful, Deering wife.
There's no name.
Maybe she's
She's
the
a babysitter.
I don't know. The White Lady's ghost appears as a luminous figure in white. Sounds from the crypt, faint knocking or tapping from inside the vault is heard.
Well, they can't
someone
hear her.
trying to get out.
No, she's probably scraping at it, but it sounds gentle
with all the layers
because
she's
it's
in.
many layers.
Sounds so far away.
Oh.
Lights flicker inexplicably when the church is empty and locked. A sense of being watched. Cold spots rise from the floor near the brasses, or a soft sigh escapes when there's nobody there. Just hear a just the simplest noise. That would be really scary when you're in a church by yourself and you just hear somebody going. How long are you going to be here? Witnesses describe a gentle presence, perhaps searching for something lost or just lingering where she was laid to rest. Now, Frederick Sanders' role here is fascinating. He didn't just collect these stories, he actively investigated them. So, back in 1939, when he was in his early 30s, he conducted 2 ghost hunts specifically at St. Nicholas Church in search of the Red Lady. The first in July with a friend named Douglas Bennett, and Frederick himself saw strange lights in the church, and his friend Bennett heard a woman's voice in the churchyard. Sanders went again on his own in October and picked up auditory phenomena inside the church itself, unexplained sounds, whispers, and footsteps. He reported these in 1939. So, yes, now whispers, footsteps, cool. That's on like every ghost show. But in 1939, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a, and he's actually like reporting this
Right.
as a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty cool. Daily Herald article. He admitted he didn't actually see a ghost, but he was convinced something was there. Interestingly, Sanders later claimed in 1959 that the Red Lady had finally been, quote, laid to rest after a group ghost hunting. Supposedly, the spirit passed through a woman in the party, freeing her from her wandering.
What happened to the poor lady? Now the lady.
So they're
Late.
going in search of the red lady. Apparently, she's not there anymore. I don't
Oh,
know.
she's wearing jeans and a t-shirt now.
Okay, so there is then the Black Horse Inn poltergeist who steals people's purses and keys. And
A black horse steals this.
Black Horse Inn, it's a
Okay.
pub,
Okay.
has a poltergeist.
Mm. That makes
Happy to break that down for you.
sense. A black horse. He's a poltergeist. He steals keys.
He doesn't foam at the mouth, though. He's
No, he's
unheard.
very sneaky.
He's very sneaky. You don't hear him foam. And they find these items in like random places that they shouldn't be. So, okay, we have reached an end. Now, fast forward to recent years, 2025, actually. A researcher named Dr. Simon Morton, I had mentioned him before, mentioned him before. I mentioned him before.
I'm dying here.
He was from a local university, and he, like I said, dove more into the archives, newspapers, parish records, death certificates. He could get his hands on more things. He could get his hands on more things. And he finds Frederick verifiable. A lot of what Frederick has found is true. And I just think that's amazing.
Especially with the technology he now has on hand to do all this stuff.
This passionate local turns oral whispers into this identity. Like he gives ghosts an identity, which I just found that so fascinating. He didn't invent their ghosts, he just captured them before they faded away.
Or maybe by giving them an identity, they were able to fade away.
But they haven't faded away because they're all still there. Except
Are
apparently
they
the
all?
lady in red.
The lady in red's gone.
The red lady.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, okay, but I'm even questioning my research right now.
I am too, but
Because they're just Lady Deering, but like what's their name? Or were they all just you marry a Deering, you're just Lady Deering now? The freaking babysitter. I don't know.
if you keep it vague, it's a lot easier to come up with ghosts.
All right, so fun spin on hauntings with a little bit of historical fact, maybe. But that's Pluckley Village.
Oh my gosh.
Little side note, if you do make this cocktail, enjoy it with a spoon.
Yes, there's so much whipping
There's
cream.
so much,
Well,
but it's like flavored cream
if
now.
you like whipping cream, which I
But
do.
it's flavored with the alcohol. Have you been taking
Oh,
drinks
honey,
like I have?
as soon as that goes off, I'm digging up.
Digging in with a spoon.
I'm taking a spoon out.
Oh, goodness gracious. We have kept you guys long enough.
Yes, you have. Okay.
So,
That was kind of like all over, but it was
kind
so,
of it was. I
was-
don't know what I was doing. What was
Oh
I
my-
on when I wrote this?
I don't know, but it was so much stinking fun. You were so, oh, don't worry, Mom. I got this. I've got 32 pages.
Of repetitive nonsense. Well, I hope they had as much fun as we did because this was very fun.
Oh my gosh. My
We will be
stomach
back
hurt.
October 5th. October 5th for season 3.
Season 3 is already lining up to be amazing.
Very excited. But please, like I said, follow and subscribe so you get all of our alerts on social media, wherever you listen or watch us. Yeah.
Leave us messages, leave us ratings. Preferably the higher ratings, but
Only nice ones.
Leave us ratings. We kind of ventured into a different territory with season 2, just kind of made it a little different than what we had in the past. We're pretty excited about it, but if there's something you can recommend,
Absolutely.
or, whatever, let us know. I mean, please let us know. We can only grow by hearing from you.
What do you
So,
want us to cover?
or what do you want,
We love hearing from you guys. That's what's so fun.
So please, please do give us ratings and comments. All right, we do have cream to cheer with,
Teeth.
to drink.
We're gonna cheer. You're just gonna see. This is fun, Mom.
Cheers to season 2
And season 3.
and to you.
And to you. Ooh. Cheers, Mama.
Cheers. I love you, kid.
This has been Killer Hangover Podcast, an original production, written, produced, and designed by yours truly. All of our amazing music that always sends shivers down my spine was thoughtfully crafted by Dangerous Schmidt. And the other thing that gives me those chicken bumps, as we say, is you guys. Big love and huge thanks to all of our listeners. You truly make these hangovers possible. If you liked the episode, do us a favor. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you want to get in touch, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Killer Hangover Podcast, or shoot us an email at killerhangoverpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, stay safe, lock your doors, drink some water for that hangover, and call your mom.